Hey everybody, it's me, Alex, once again, and today we're going to be doing another review. And what is that on? It is on Panzer Dragoon 2 Zwei. So basically Panzer Dragoon 2 2, because Zwei is German for two. So, what is this? Obviously, since you've seen from the Panzer Dragoon remake review, it's an on-rail shooter, and it has yet to be remastered in HD. And I thought I don't want to wait until that comes out to review it, so I thought why not just review the Sega Saturn version? And this time I have a proper HD capture device that isn't some kind of cheap piece of crap, and this actually runs it at the speeds that it should and the resolution that it should. It's really nice looking, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's going to be our video for today, and I hope you enjoy it. So, I'll be seeing you shortly. See you in a sec.
As we open up our game, we see an FMV showing us events that will take place in the story. And I must say that the graphics in these FMVs are really good for the Saturn. It makes me want to see them in HD though, perhaps someday. Before I go into the story, I'm using Panzer's box for this because I'm not amazing at on-rail shooters, and also you can modify many things in here. There's even an ultra easy mode, which is insulting to be honest. The game is hard, but not that hard. Note, you won't be getting proper ranking results that save after you beat the game, so be warned. You may say this is a cheap way to play the game, but it's not considering the fact that I have Panzer Dragoon Saga save data on here, so I will be using it. So, sorry about that. Zwei is a prequel set prior to the events of the original Panzer Dragoon. It does not say how far, though. Against the backdrop of a war between the Empire and the nation of Bacania over remnants of the ancient age, a vanished civilization. Jean-Jacques Lundy lives in a small village whose people ride pack animals called coolias. Mutant coolias, born exhibiting bioluminescence, are killed as unlucky omens. Lundy defies the village tradition by sheltering in a normal coolia born with both a glowing green throat and wings, naming him Laggy. He said he couldn't kill it for his own moral reasons, and it has wings. Later, while the two were out riding, an automated ancient age airship called Shelkoof destroys Lundy's village. Laggy fires at Shelkoof with lasers from his mouth, the trademark attack of dragons from the ancient age. So, during the first level of the game, Lundy and Laggy pursue Shelkoof through the ruined village in parallel with the forces of the Empire, who seek to control Shelkoof. Lundy and Laggy almost reach Shelkoof, but a mysterious dragon attacks and drives them back. The second level has Laggy and Lundy riding through the canyon network to attack either a Mechania fortress or a fleet of Imperial. The boss is an enormous Imperial flying battleship in the third level. The two must fly through a forest while defending off wild creatures and Imperial gunships. The boss is a gigantic forest beast. The fourth level is set in the half-flooded tunnels of an underground ruin from the ancient age, where Laggy and Lundy fight through the facility's defenses to face the boss, a massive aquatic living weapon. In the fifth level, the two finally reach Shelkoof as its monstrous guardians destroy the pursuing Imperial fleet. The entire level takes the form of an extended multi-phase boss fight with another enormous living weapon deployed by Shelkoof. The sixth level has the pair invade Shelkoof itself, fighting through swarms of defenders to cripple the airship's flying apparatus. The boss is in the ship's core, which is revealed to house the hostile guardian dragon seen in the first level. The final level is a lengthy multi-phase boss fight against the guardian dragon, and in the ending cutscene, Laggy surrounds Lundy in a force field, lifting him from the saddle and sending him to safety. Laggy attacks an approaching Imperial fleet while Lundy sees a vision of the past and near future, including some of the events of Panzer Dragoon. The final scene shows Lundy walking through the wreckage of Shelkoof to find a carving of a dragon similar to Laggy, and declaring that Laggy lives on in his memory. That's a rundown of the story, but how far back this is from the original Panzer Dragoon, like I've said, I'm not sure, but it might not be too far back considering it looks like the Emperor in this game is the same one you see in Saga, I think. It's hard to tell with all these dark graphics with him in the cutscenes. The gameplay is very similar to the original, but a few things were added to make this more fun and dynamic than the original. First, you start off on the ground, which is different, and kinda cool to be honest. and the level accompanying it fits that dark vibe the world is supposed to give off. But also in terms of control, it's so much better. The 3D controller works really well in this compared to the original, where it felt overly sensitive, but it worked okay at the end of the day. And if you have a berserk attack, now, also, with this attack by the way, it's a bit glitched. If you have it on the default button, it will shoot your whole bar out. And it isn't normally supposed to do that, it's kind of weird. So just switch it to a different button and then it shouldn't do that. Hopefully the remake does not carry this over. Though in the next level, your dragon laggy takes off and you can finally fly and it feels great. Though the level you get him to fly in is kind of boring. Not a lot going on besides rocks and a huge flat plane, which goes on for too long in my opinion. In Panzer's box, you could also set laggy to roll, which has no purpose, I think, other than maybe just a Star Fox reference. One change I like is that you can turn yourself more so than just hitting the trigger buttons to look left and right. So you can just make small turns by just looking left or right to get that one, that weird blind spot that is not easily accessible by just flipping the camera around. So, another nice thing that is introduced into this series, which is something that Star Fox 64 did before this, or around the same time, I can't remember, is that it has different routes in pretty much each stage as far as I can tell. Now I haven't pulled it off somehow, but in the bottom right of the screen you can see what route you're on. So it took something great from Star Fox, and that's great. I will say the bosses can be pretty easy, of course depending on the difficulty and your skill. If you had no problem with them in the original Panzer Dragoon Saturn release, then you should be fine. Man, I honestly forgot how short this game is, but it's meant for repeated playthroughs. And I'd say that covers Panzer Dragoon Zwei. I don't really have too much to say about it, other than the graphics being absolutely amazing in this game. Like, they're a massive step up from the first game, and just for the Saturn, it's very impressive. So, other than that, there's not too much to really talk about other than repeating myself over and over. So, soon I will be bringing you Panzer Dragoon Saga in a full-out review. I'm not sure when. It may take a while for it to get done. So, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Farewell.